What's going on, everybody? It's your boy Dr. Splash, and this is just gonna be real quick. I didn't want to do a full video on it, so I just added to this intro. I will timestamp if you want to skip ahead, but I had put on my channel that the reason I've been gone for so long, I was dealing with a medical issue. Basically, I was kind of dumb, and I self-diagnosed myself. I play a lot of basketball, do MMA, things like that, and I work outside. I have a full-time job. So obviously I'm outside a lot. I'm very active, and sometimes I don't drink enough water. So I thought I was having an issue from a fall I suffered on concrete and being dehydrated. Well, turns out I was wrong. I have a genetic issue I was born with where I have an extra hole in my body that obviously has a tunnel, and it had gotten infected, and a cyst had formed and burst. And because I hadn't gone in, the infection was spreading. So the other day I tried to get up, really couldn't move. Went in, found out what it was, and the infection was too bad that I had to immediately inject me with antibiotic, and we had to reduce it before they could do the surgery. Surgery was done today. Hurts like hell, but glad to be back on the mend. I say all this to say I have a ego, I have pride, and that could have killed me because I was trying to be tough, tried to self-diagnose, and obviously I stupidly thought I was smart enough to understand medicine when obviously I don't practice that shit. So be smart, go to the people, go to the experts, take care of yourself, and be healthy. Thank you guys that supported me and sent me a lot of prayers. Shit got rough for a little bit. I actually had to send a couple people some messages like, hey, we don't know how this one's going to go. I had to tell Lumos, GB, a couple people in case I wasn't around anymore. And I had a video in place to be posted, but we're good now, okay? And I'm very thankful to be on the mend. Rehab will be about a week, but since I'm resting at home, can't go into work, I will be recording. So that's what this is. So thank you guys so much. I just wanted to give you an explanation to the community post because I had kind of kept it vague. But yeah, that's what it was. That's what I dealt with. But we're back, and I'm very blessed and very thankful to be so. So with that being said, let's get right into it. Love you all. Shout out to Yancey Street, and let's get back to work. What's going on, everybody? It's your boy Splash, Dr. Splash, Goon, Jobbers and Goons, Jobber, whatever you want to call me. I'm just grateful to be here. I'm glad y'all are back. Obviously, it's been a while. We're coming back full into the hype. We got to come back swinging, of course. Full stop. I'm just gonna go all in. I'm really thankful to really get back to the grind. I'm someone that really loves to do the same thing every day. That's boring for some, but when you get into a routine for several years, it's a big deal. So I'm glad to be back to this. We're going to go crazy with it. And make sure to smash the like button if you love comic book reviews, because actually this was sponsored by a member of my Discord who really wanted to see me cover the latest issue of Thor. Now, this is crazy because Thor essentially gets an Outerversal Sharingan. Things get wild in issue 15. So we're going to get into it. Get this to, I don't know if I said 350 likes, but that'd be amazing. Also, check out my Discord. We do games, prizes, D&Ds, giveaways, and more. I have a ton of content coming to the channel. I'm hoping to do it daily this week. And to keep that rolling. No promises, though, but I will be very active. So definitely be excited for that. We're on the road to 30K. But yeah, so getting into this, right? This is Thor issue 15. We actually covered issue 14 recently, if you want to check that out. The beginning of this, it implies that the dark is above the light in Marvel. That is where the end always begins. So this is something that could be interpreted in an interesting fashion, because you could say it's implying that in Marvel, the things that are in the dark, the things from the dark, inherently are stronger than the opposite, the duality to that. The light, the things that come from the light conceptually, the good, whether it's something as simple as everyday heroes to gods. But it's an interesting statement to open up, and of course it references the wheel, which is a huge part of the story for immortal Thor. We then see Thor is failing against the dark, as when he absorbed the power of Zeus, he also absorbed his fucking issues, and he had a dark curse set upon him, haunting him to his very being, that it literally seeps into his power. And we see his eye, the wheel actually resides within his eye, as he talks about even gods bend to fate, and fate bends to the wheel, and the wheel turns, and he has a high outer Sharingan. That's fucking crazy. Okay, it's a sick design. Now, can Naruto fans argue that they low-key are biting off the Sharingan design? Sure, claim it, because guess what? The eye shit in Naruto is dope, okay? But regardless, his eyes in this super form he currently has after absorbing Zeus's shit is amazing. That's when we see Hercules is fucking Chuck, right? He's looking upon this, he's like, all right, guys, we're not balling right now. We're about 3 seconds away from being like Splash a couple days ago. But then he goes, yo, Nyx, please help Thor and neg the curse of the darkness. Nyx is like, guess what? This whole story, this whole situation you got going on, it's beneath me. This battle of light and dark, this bit of darkness right here that Thor is fighting, that's like a star within the vast universe. And I have my universe of darkness to get back to. And he does the race as Hercules is pissed. He's like, bro, I thought I could get the bitch to help us. But apparently she genuinely does not care. She kind of just looks down upon them. Loki then reveals to Hercules that Hercules has faced this test before. Obviously, Herc is mad. He's threatening Loki like, look, dude, my boy's about to go down, and he's strong as hell, so I don't know if we can do anything if he flips on us. So I need you to spill the beans. And Loki goes, look, really think about it. You've faced this before. This is a rune magic equivalent to the wild cattle mythos from your side in your Pantheon stories. Thor hears this. He hears the mention of the comparison to the wild cattle and begins to resist. The power and the madness also states, like I said earlier, that gods bow to fate and fate bows to the wheels of the fate bearers. As in this form, of course, Thor possesses those full capabilities of the fate bearers. But at the same time, we can clearly see in this state, despite the madness trying to take over, Thor is fighting it. Thor is conscious. He knows what's going on. And he's like, fuck, I gotta fight this. Thor then calls upon his power to actively attempt to contain the darkness. Now, this is pretty crazy because keep in mind, this is a darkness that had grown synonymous with the power of Zeus. Zeus couldn't get rid of it. Zeus didn't know anybody that could get rid of it. He's a Sky Father on the Godhead Council. Do you know how many fucking people Zeus knows? You know how many people are in the neighborhood? The multiverses upon multiverses that are then transcended into other realms that are beyond the concepts of time, space, distance, everything fancy you gotta say in power scaling to get to Outerversal. You get my drift? He knows a lot of fucking people, but he couldn't get rid of that shit. Guess what? Thor's about to put it in a fucking sushi box, okay? Shit's getting real. And in doing so, in containing this power when no one thought he could, he forges his new power belt. In this moment, in this glorious struggle, Thor has forged his second weapon in this journey. Yolbjorn, the Enduring One, the Protector. He seals the power in the belt, and he tells Loki the games have grown too dangerous. Now, this is pretty serious because they have had an agreement that in this run, in this seeking of power-ups so that he can face the threats of the Elder Gods coming, Thor and Loki would have to be both allies and enemies for this to really work. But Thor, at this point, is like, look, you're doing too much. We can't have that agreement anymore. You gotta go. That's when we see Thor straight up pull the hammer out. And Loki goes, look, before you do that shit, make sure you think it through. Because this is a big move for anybody. Thor is not listening at that point. And he's like, fuck you, Loki. I can't risk it. I hereby banish you, and I have the ability to do so clearly. So be gone, bitch. And hits him with the shut the fuck up 3000. Now, this is actually pretty impressive because, again, this God of Stories Loki, and Thor has the power to remove him from a realm, to ban him from a realm, seal him off from a realm. That's a pretty damn impressive. I guess there's some ways to argue maybe Loki let him do it, but at the same time, clearly he is capable of doing so. As he doesn't really care what Loki has to say at that point, as Thor firmly believes in his current state, he's able to progress to the third weapon and continue with his journey. Thor then returns to Asgard and orders the revival of Zeus, who of course Thor had to take down. He's like, look guys, do everything you can to bring him back. I did have to take all his power and fuck him up, but that doesn't matter. Just help him out. And he is alerted that someone has arrived to talk to him as Herc, who of course is a top 5 wingman in Marvel, to be honest. Get in the comment sections, let me know, who do you think are the best sidekicks, the best buddies to bring on a mission? Not really a sidekick, more like a buddy. Like if you're doing a buddy mission, who are top 5 wingmen? I would say Herc has an argument in Marvel. Within the Marvel landscape, he's probably a top 5 wingman. He's like, I'll roll with you, but Thor's like, don't worry about it. Be with your family. I'm gonna go take care of this. That's when we see Enchantress is the one that had shown up. And she reveals that at this point, she's with Roxxon, who earlier in this run had been hinted as a corporation to be involved with whatever's going on with Thor. She also says that she's been doing a lot of hood rat shit. Loki got banished for hood rat shit. So, to be morally consistent as the king and ruler, Thor should banish Enchantress, too. That's when they kind of fool around. Not really important to me. I don't really give a damn. But she does eventually, through this, quick little hookup they have, she asks Thor to bring back her son. Thor, of course, at this point, actually says no. It's not out of disrespect. But the son, in a different run, had died in a very heroic fashion. It was tragic, given the nature of it being Enchantress's son. He's young, but he didn't go out like a bitch. He went out with the highest regards. And in his culture, in the way the Asgardians think, that's the absolute golden way to Valhalla. There's no better place for her son to be. It'd be like if you went to heaven and you had everything you wanted, you could do whatever you wanted infinitely. You would be pissed if someone brought you back down here. I'm sorry, I'm just gonna say it. If I'm in heaven and I'm balling infinitely and you bring me back here to my 9 to 5, fuck off. But that's basically what Thor's arguing right here, which is actually understandable. She then goes on to say, well, since you're not going to bring him back, maybe me and Roxxon can make some moves. And he's like, hey, y'all can beef with Avengers. That's cool. And you'll probably still die doing that. But don't try to beef with me. And that's when we see the story pan over to a laboratory where someone's dead on the ground. There's some demon shit going on, and someone's coming back, right? And we see that the gods had killed Dario Ager. Dario Ager has been brought back through hell through ritual. A soul for a soul, even though apparently all of hell trembled when this was going on. They were pissed. It was problematic. He still came back. And the end says this return is Thor's end, as he is there to get buckets. Now, I know what you guys are thinking. Splash. Why would they make Dario Ager a key point to killing Thor? No one really cares about Dario Ager. My response? Fuck if I know. I think it's a terrible selection. So I make a joke all the time that, you know, this character has all 12 of his fans might get pissed if they hear me say this. I make those jokes all the time. I'm serious. I swear to God, I've never met a Dario Ager fan. On top of that, out of my 1,500 videos plus, I have never been requested, not once, to do a Dario Ager video. So he doesn't have any fans. He might, after this, he might have a lot of people that are interested in who he is. He does actually have an interesting backstory, given he sold his soul to a Minotaur to get revenge against pirates, went on, had bans from his parents being rich, became a corrupt businessman, obviously has weird mystic powers from the Minotaur shit, eventually dies. He was trying to take over Asgard, 10 realms, a lot of shit. Messy past. Regardless, he's coming back, and apparently he signals the end of this new form of Thor and his historic run he's going on. But anyways, guys, let me know what you think in the comment section down below. I think this Thor is absolutely broken. Curious to see what Dario's going to bring back that's going to beat this Thor. But it's a wild story so far. Super broken character. High outer, Sharingan looks dope as well. I mean, it'd be cool to see him fight in that form, activate those eyes, and start battling. But we'll see if we really get that. I'm really excited for the rest of this run. But yeah, anyways, it's been your boy, Dr. Splash. I'm thinking if we do change this channel name, maybe I would change it to Splash from Yancey Street. Because, of course, you guys are the Yancey Street gang. That would make a lot of sense. But I don't know. Let me know what you think about that. But yeah, anyways, it's been your boy Splash, and I'll see y'all later. Peace. It's Yancey Street, bitches.